Hello YouTube. So being down and not happy, not me. Don't like doing it, so I decided to pull myself out of this with clay because that's what makes me happy. So we're gonna do something with you right here. So I very often search for the inspiration in nature. So this is a bark, cork, and it's a great material for orchid mounting. Okay, but does it has a certain life? Probably longer than wood, but it's fragile in a way. But it has an absolutely crazy texture. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna create with you a piece of clay that mimics the same texture, and that makes it a perfect idea for a mounting totem or mounting material. So what are we going to use? We're going to use the red clay, the red high fire clay, which means it will be processed and kiln twice. Just to warn you, the pottery process is a very dirty process. So this is my regular everyday used this is a slab roller right here. The red clay I started using lately on the pots, and this specific red clay is not very cooperative if you want to make a form out of it, like a pot or something. While it dries, it cracks a lot, and maybe that was one of the reasons why I was not very happy lately, because there was two not very perfect kiln firings that really disappointed me. But I am in the different age now, so that will not stop me. That will make me stronger. So we're gonna try to do something different with you. So I got me a nice slab that I'm gonna roll and make it an even 1/4 inch piece of clay, and that we're gonna play with. The specific reason why I was very successful in mounting orchids on clay, specifically the clay that mimics the any kind of bark texture. So I tried different things, rollers that do mimic the bark, but came to the conclusion that the real cork gives the best texture. So here's our piece. We're gonna make it a little bit more perfect. Where are my tools? Of course there's no tools. Tools right here. Yeah, so we wanna make it perfect, so we will. So we'll have to roll it again a couple of times. And there's a particular reason why I decided, besides the fact that it did not listen to me. One of the growers, one of the orchid hybridizers asked me to make him some of these slabs for seedlings, and there's a specific measurements that he's interested in, and that's what we're gonna follow with you. But let's first make that, see, perfect piece of clay. Okay, here we are. It doesn't have to be perfect on the sides. We're gonna work on it. First thing we do, want to get rid of all the air bubbles that are in there. So we're gonna do this with the little rib thing. And I would love always my totems or mounts, whatever you call them, to have two sides. So for order to do that, we need to do something on this side. And what I found, of course, when you do pottery, you search for your textures everywhere. So nature is one moment. The other one is a perfect source for anything else, is a thrift store. So look what I found in a thrift store. I found a set of placemates, very rustic, good looking, but the thing is they're made out of real sticks. I don't even know what kind of wood that is. It's pretty strong, it doesn't break. So, and I decided that is very, very rough, and it will make a really good texture for these mats. But we have a problem here because clay sticks, really sticks. So, ta-da! Bigger. So one way is to spray the thing, but I tried and it works great for me. I spray the clay itself. That's why if you look at the fabric that I use right here, it's pretty stainy because of that. So we're gonna do this, okay? Then we're gonna cover it, and then we're gonna turn it, okay? So nothing gentle about clay. You're gonna give it good imprint, great stress relief. So and now we're gonna kind of do the same on this side, even though I think it's fine. And then the magic itself. So I always search for very like rough, so when you put it on the clay, you get really, look how cool that is. Really, let me go here and put it close. I'm gonna take it into my hands for a second. You just do this and you get this yummy, yummy, yummy imprint, and you just keep going with it. And look, isn't that something beautiful? Don't you think your roots gonna love it? Yeah. And on the other side, at the same time I'm doing it, it imprints into that placemate, the sticky one that made out of sticks of whatever tree. We'll never know, but not that we really need to. Then if there are areas with the just missing texture, we're just gonna add this really deep and cool. And for the majority, I'm gonna use the big stick different ways, however it works. So this we're gonna do until we basically don't see the imprints of the fabric. And then after we're done, we're gonna take the bottom piece out as well, and I'm gonna make a tremendous amount of holes in it. But because of this specific order, Alan, who ordered them, did mention specific order of holes that he needs, because he's going to be using it specifically for his seedlings of his crosses, and he wanted the holes to be in specific spots so he can attach the seedlings properly. And we're gonna follow his instructions, but at the same time we're gonna add more. He said more holes is fine, just he wanted those holes specifically. Okay, so what do we think? Look at that. Isn't that nice? Okay, there's a little piece of cork left in there, but that's fine. Yeah, I'll just perfect the slab till it's really, I like these really deep right here looking at me and screaming my name. Okay, so this is one side. I think we're good. And let's turn it over and see the other side. So turning over, sometimes this technique with oil works, sometimes doesn't. I try to put the saran wrap in between, but then the impression is not. I want it to be really drastic, really dramatic, and voila, look at this stuff. Isn't that beautiful? And so on this side we're gonna have a little bit different, but also very, very textured, detailed, kind of totally like bark, yeah? And it sticks out and it's very imperfect, which is totally fine with me. So what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna, since I have an order, and he wanted each piece to be specifically 3.5 by 3.5, I'm gonna do, first I'm gonna do holes, or maybe not. No, since I have a specific size, I'm gonna cut the sizes first and then I'm gonna do the holes. I'm not gonna keep you waiting and watching me cutting it, but I'll show you what's gonna happen after, okay? Hang on. So basically here they are. I measured them and I cut them. We can turn them over. I prefer to do that. And I did not make them perfectly square. Some of them will be perfectly square. Some of them will stay a little bit like natural at the edges. But look at these guys. Wouldn't it be much nicer for the seedlings? And the thing is, these boys and girls gonna last forever because you see they're pretty thick. It's more than a quarter of an inch. So and this clay gonna turn after I fire it twice. It's gonna be really, really deep dark brown, almost like chocolate, real chocolate brown. And we're just gonna make the holes the way Alan prescribed, let's say. See, these are more of a, not square, but they will have this natural edge. And we're gonna let these guys dry for probably overnight. It's hot. I let it dry in my lanai. I will do one more batch of these, I guess. I need, what do we have here? 5. We have 15, so he wanted around 20. So we're gonna do one more in case somebody else is interested. And let's get to those holes. So this is my diagram. And so this is the front, and this is the back. So he can use both sides, and we're just gonna go and make more holes in every piece like that one. So just pretty easy. Center, center, corners, and I prefer to do the other ones with a little bit smaller hole puncher. Here, 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 and so on. So what's gonna happen next? These boys and girls gonna go and dry. I'm gonna put them in the kiln, and then they're gonna go through one cycle, then they're gonna come out. I am not glazing them, they're staying just as natural as they are. and I'm gonna put them through one more cycle of glazing. Let me try to do one with the smaller holes, and they will be ready to go. So if you are into seedlings, if you are hybridizing somewhere in your basement, I am not as advanced doing the seeds and stuff like that. Flasking is a very, very very special process. You got to be knowledgeable. You got to keep them in the special conditions. I prefer to go and buy the ready one. So these are the smaller holes right here, and this is it. We probably gonna see them ready in just a couple of days. So this is for you. If you ever bought one of my bark imitation totems, this is how it's done, a quick version of it. So that's how a clay bark is made and is born. So not to keep you waiting for 3 days, this is the one that I've made already. This light kind of doesn't make much difference between the wet and dry clay, but it's gonna look like that. I made a couple of these like hanging things that needs to be hang. I thought they will be great for like dendrobiums and osmums. If you put them inside, then they're gonna start falling down around. But this is basically a solid rock, double fired, high fired red clay, and it's not gonna turn green, what I like about high fired clay, and it's way more solid than the red terracotta. This one I did the marbling technique with the orange stone together. So I hope you enjoyed it. Here it is, a bark made out of clay. You have a great day.